Good morning. It's 22 minutes past 9 Dutch time, 14th of November 2019. This is part of our journals as we cross this bridge again. And it starts from kicking in thoughts. I realize that's what they do. They're like, how you call this tractor, this machine that paves way like from the snow. That's an image I've had. Now, so same as the thought, it's just doing it on a different maybe speed or power. And I realized my own interpretation of the inner vision. Now, the inner vision, the fourth tone, actually, that in the filter that I am. Wow, this word I. Well, that's for another stream story. So I'll use it for this moment. I'm laughing sometimes. I'm saying to people, I'm not allowing you to use I until you are not really detached from this sound. Yeah? Until you are not really detached from this sound, I'm not allowing you. Now, not because I'm the one granting permissions or not, but since I can feel the frequency of human beings as they use this I, how it is interpreted when I use that, that's up to you, the other. Now, it doesn't really matter, because for me it's kind of the sense that now it's like you put now we don't have anymore so much these tapes, you press play and you play, you have more of it on the, well, let's take, I don't know why I have this image, but okay, so we'll take the iPod or iPhone or smartphone, and you press play and it starts playing, and it's clear that this is the machine. So in a way, this machine box of mine that produces sounds, and the attachment to it happens through mine. That's part of voices we've established, of a sound we've established. My voice, I'm walking here. Now that's only because how the phenomena operates. I'm just here to observe the phenomena itself. That's it. And mark that phenomena to others. Yeah? In this illusion of separateness. Now, as I was starting, because it's a whole journey through this I. It's a whole journey that's the most human beings, it's just like, okay, they may have read it in a yoga philosophy, or may have heard it in other Eastern philosophies, maybe in human design, this. But so that's really a topic to be explored, or an experience to be explored. But regarding the inner vision, and now you're actually, you can stand. Not you can. You are standing here. As I stopped standing. Wow, that's why it's a challenge to transmit this inner vision tone, which is called meditation in a way. It's referred to in the color as a meditation, and in my case streams in this language to taste, closed taste, and the taste is is closed because of the inner vision. Actually, I've not made yet, there is no connection established for me as how to relate it, close to rightness, close taste, but I'm describing it also for myself to hear that, and wherever the transmission will lead. And on the surface, the third, so second color, fourth tone inner vision, second color taste, and it's a closed taste, very discriminative, and interesting to see how it comes with sound and touch, the fourth, the fifth and sixth tones as well. Let's say when they surface to the second color, and then to the third, in my case, the third line. So now we are coming from below, something that is really for one's cognition, Only I'm internally starting to recognize, like on the surface 4 years ago, I started recognizing, okay, there is some mechanics that responds, there is, okay, there is some mechanics underneath that is, bumping into things, third line. And there is some mechanic, there is actually, it goes before the third line, there is some mechanics of I'm just being busy in the now. It's actually, you also mentioned, you. And so, and you mentioned it recently as well, you. When I may change the subject, I will refer to another you, but you. Now, so this is why we start with the surface, and I'll see if the transmission wishes me to go to speak about the fourth tone, which is really under the surface. Mind has to really become, it's not about being quiet. It's not a yoga chitta vritti nirodha, the cessation of fluctuation of the mind, but not trying to move the movement so the mind can watch what actually is the movement that is happening. Now, responding to life, how it functions, I'm actually responding, there is there is the mind that wants to take control over things through words. Like now the mind is starting, it's talking, it's like, wow, I'm doing my role, like heart pumping blood, mind pumping thoughts inside and pumping them outside, goes both ways. And the mind likes to be used as an organ. It has a function. If it's not well used, there is also something that is not fulfilled, like the heart, like the lungs, like the thumbs and the skin and everything we disintegrated in order to explain a phenomena. That anything anyways is all connected also. Like you can refer to your whole body, you can refer to the whole surroundings, and so on and so forth. So from this type, responding, generator, that's more visible to the mind, more accessible. We drill down to the surface, sacral, and this is quite a busy in the now sacral. And this is a busy in the now, and the mind can observe, and there is trial and error, while the mind with its trip about, in my case, security, first line, blah, 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 all there. But it starts to be honed on actually how the body functions, because that's the unique function that allows the mind eventually to play. in this analogy of the hardware and software. As the mind the software and the body the hardware. And if the hardware is not tuned, progressed, aligned, all of that, the software, it doesn't matter. Yeah, in this analogy to computer which I used. So this is why it's really about letting the hardware do its task. Now, then the thing, okay, penetrating to the body, after the mind is let go from making decisions, yeah? The first most challenging task. But there are other layers, again, because the mind is in its process of awakening, of being aligned, while the body is just doing its thing, and the mind can recognize that. Now, so penetrating from the type to the inner authority that's on the surface through all this wiring, this is how it appears. Yeah. Let's say for you, okay, an example. On the surface, a generator and the aura and the da and the and oh yeah, busy in the now, and that's streamed through my alpha. But actually underneath, it's a more complicated. It's not really complicated. It's just more detailed. Maybe I'll put it. And there is something to laying out these details. There is something. I'll go back to the inner vision in a moment because it takes time to penetrate that surface to especially for why I realize for right beings it's challenging because these let alone senses but also the brain function, it's like only when it's letting go and it's just taking everything in. Because also this the mind tries to interpret. What does it mean, take things in? I don't know, meditation, I don't know. I'm not letting the mind take over. It doesn't let itself and it plays games like that because mind can be fooled. So penetrating in my case to the generator, sacral. Okay, maybe first it's a third line, although it's not actually, it's more busy in the now, You'll see you're busy in the now. Yeah, for that sake, let's separate, I'm busy in the now, and the busy in the now will go through trial and error, and you're busy in the now in an opportunity, in a honed busy in the now that's not breaking bonds, but actually staying with that busy, whatever you're busy in the now, for whatever long, how long, blah, blah, blah. Now, underneath, yeah, the mind starts realizing more, yeah, actually, underneath, there's the second color. And it sees that life is actually happening, in my case, second color, they're actually happening through me having a distinct taste for something. But again, because the mind is not in a place that it just observes, it wants to now discern. Yeah, like it wanted to discern, okay, what's a generator? Let's try to discriminate and decide what we're going to respond to. Let's now try what we're going to have and Let's now decide what we're going to have the good trial and error, or let's avoid the bad trial and error. And again, doing it on the openness and so on. Now let's try, okay, what is really our taste? What is really our taste? You know, now on one hand it just discovers that eventually the body is doing that. As now the taste is, okay, this walking. Again, taste, there is something repetitive in that. It's not just digesting my meal, my PHS through, okay, I can describe it and see that it happened. I could not, my mind, yeah? It could not have chosen, okay, this diet. 3-4 slices of bread with butter and cheese during the day, and a cup of tea or 2 during the day, maybe 3 in this period, yeah, adjusting to this period. Maybe sometimes a pear, sometimes an apple cake and milk in the morning for day after day after day after day after day. That's why, again, we have unique differentiation, because the body determines our unique differentiation also through the food diet, but also through, hey, I'm just walking these 10 kilometers from where I live to the shop again. No reason. I'm not doing exercise. Or now I walk next to me, there is the, I don't know, perhaps raspberries. Yeah, this, when it was in the season, I was actually eating them, but I don't want to get honed on the food. Yeah. Now in my case, taste. Oh yeah, there is something that is really tasteful, and you just repeat it. Okay, you sit and you read Bhagavad Gita. Okay, you do this. Okay, you go and you, whatever this thing that is repetitive, and I'm not talking about even how it's being presented or experienced on the surface, through the lines, again, through the centers, channels, lines, all of that. Yeah, this is the beginning of the experiment to penetrate this layer, or actually to recognize it. Now, underneath, that's so the color, and then the inner vision. Yeah, the inner vision that are that, because it's an inner vision, a fourth tone. Inner vision, fourth tone, which is associated, and I'll connect it in the story to why it's also very dominant in me, because it's related in a way to the 11th gate, to the left eye, which is actually associated with right vision. Yeah, and again, the more, this is just some words for me, and but you're here as well. Yeah. Like I can imagine you, and then this is the introduction actually made to go back to the inner vision, because there are interesting things we both share, and it really comes through for me. Again, I use the word surrender, or you might use receptivity, or and it really is noticeable in the eye's mind that is actually looking for something to think about and then talk about, and rather than taking that out. This is why I don't know if I, to some people, or recommend, or it was part of my experience, to take a recording machine and actually, when it was just the body decided, I start recording and I talk like I'm sometimes talking now to you. Maybe I send it, maybe I don't, doesn't matter, but you recognize there is something inside of you. Now, not only you recognize, you get a chance on your own, like, to see what he talks about before you even bring it outside. Yeah. Now, it might be that one waits and does not talk about it and don't do anything about it. But it's a phenomenal thing, this recognition, because again, it really depends on the design and so on and so forth. But especially with places, again, in a mind that is unconscious, just again another layer in letting the mind lose in the battle of control, quote unquote battle. But now, the inner vision. So through this process, I've not chosen to reach these distinctions. I've not studied that. I really have not. I just open my mouth and I let things that are here to be spoken. Start from a thought inside, watching myself taking the recording machine. You're also inside of me. Now, as I go back to the inner vision and I realize, for me, a lot got to do to this word realization. Yeah? That it's about, I made a course, I took a course, and it was about, okay, you close your eyes, you open, you see something. You know, you open your eyes, you close, you might see something inside. They were trying to point me at that, but once you get it on your own, and again, you never know it's right or wrong, it's only experience and talking that, and again, right moments. I'm now going through mainly the process of me talking to myself, but through the whole world. That's where I even relate to the inner vision, cause what was clear to me, if we look at the ideas, gate 11, which is associated with inner vision, yeah. So it's very distinct in me, this connection. But because the mind is caught in, I don't have to say tangible, but let's say I see. It's clear that the mind identifies that I see the tree. If we were both to stand here, it would be pretty easy to agree that we see this tree, that we see this building to the left. Oh, we see this car, yes, seeing. That I actually sense, yeah, I can sense with my feet the floor, this concrete path, and yeah, it's a baker here. You know, I can even give it a name. Well, I saw the sign, but it's a smell that's associated with bread, with baking bread. There is, yeah, I walk here regularly, and some other smell. You know, I may be able to describe freshness or cool, or, you know, it's got nothing to do to the fifth, by the way, and sixth tones, which are completely different. And again, all in due time. Let's see what will come as yeah. I have the fifth tone in what I'm in what is being developed as my outer authority, and and you perhaps have the sixth. Yeah, is it sixth tone, sixth color? Perhaps. Well, certainly sixth color. So the thing is with the inner vision that I'm trying now through the experience, letting the mind, helping the other mind surrender, other right being, especially with this tone. Now I'm doing it just because I like to tell stories. So, as much as I'll give this as an example. When I tell a story, yeah, one either chooses to believe it or not. Yeah, that's the curiosity. Yeah, I have the whole channel, and I see. Again, I also. I see how it's rooted again in the voice of the 56. I believe or I don't believe. Again, if you read a story, you open a book, not just not acoustically as I'm talking now, but read a book. I believe the story that was in the Bible, or I don't believe it. Sometimes people might say, I think it was true or untrue, but it's more. They use maybe the word think, but it's got to do to some form of belief, not just the Bible, because it's all connected to our stories, yeah. Because it's got to do with the channel of abstract and with the emotional transitoriness of experiences and recognition of our feelings and a discovery of what we've discovered. Again, up to and the maturation, the channel of maturation. So having some kind of an experience with which a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and it ends with a channel of prodigal to, okay, I've been there, I've done that. This is what I remember, and and again in the mind's realm, because mind wants to express itself, its idea through the 56, which I'm actually being driven by it. It's here to get people to, again, not that I don't know if care or not, this is my frequency to put out. Are you believing in that or not? Or I say, I believe. Now, so the challenge in that, as I was explaining the senses, laying them out, so the inner vision. I see an image of you here, and I believe you are here. But since collectively again, it is changing the more and more we share these experiences in the collective, and more share this frequency. Yeah. Then you can see how we are caught in the illusion of mainly the left focus, smell, taste, outer vision. And again, also the tangible touch is part of it. So-called the five old senses, yeah, which is about I can smell now. I smell someone. Does it smell good or not? Or yeah, I can taste the food that I eat. And often it comes to food. It's very clear with that. But, I can see whatever my eyes see. Not internally. Internally, it's a hidden world that it goes, oh no, this is just fantasy. This is not real. But this is where we are caught in what we describe as reality. Now, since there are more and more, especially now with actually through the outer vision, and also acoustically and blah blah blah, but YouTube, for example, so and also Facebook and all of that. So through the collective, these experiences have been accessible to almost everyone. Now, whether they believe it or not, that matters and doesn't matter. But this thing that as I realized it went through, because it's unconscious. It's not like my mind identifies with the fact that I believe, this internal voice of mine, that you're here. That I can actually, how can I put it, bring you here at any time. Yeah? When we look at it in Star Wars, for example, we are in this beam me up, Scotty, mythic scenes, yeah? And then the body is being beamed, but we actually try to perceive it with our old senses. This is why, Zed, this is why it's collective is not ready for it yet. Yeah, we already realize everyone. Yeah, I believe that even if you close your eyes, you'll see that there's a magic kingdom inside. Wow, you think of someone from here, from that, da. Now, whether it would be past, present, future, presenting themselves in the present, well, that's up to one's configuration. So, and again, it's not about searching for that. Part of my path is releasing from that place. You know, like, I don't know if I'm actually like controlling or not. Like, I can think a thought. It's like a breath. The thought is like a breath. It's also autonomic, and it's also how you call it? I don't know, if semi-autonomic. Yeah. This so breath is happening by itself, and you can actually say kind of in the illusion this. But okay, I use it anyway. You can say, okay, now I'll breathe deeper. So you can control it, but nonetheless, it's not up to you how much to hold your breath, because the body is limiting you. This is why it's like it's a semi-automatic machine, same as the thought. I can and part of my I don't know if judgment or about that is that we're trying to control because we still have the capability for it. That my guess, prediction, evolution will take eventually. But I don't know. Yeah. At the moment we can all say, okay, now I am going to think about my mother. I'm able to reconstruct some images, although I also believe anyway that's for advanced believers that it was already played that I would be saying this and so it's been like that. But anyway, that I would say I'm talking about my mother, and then let's take, and I take people in particular, but I don't know why. But okay, I'll think about the glass milk and cake I ate and drank yesterday. Okay, or other images. Now, it's very different than them coming on their own. Yeah, it's like even having to make efforts to, now I will think about that. And this is also exercises that I've experienced through Vipassana and all. Again, this is why the mind, the 7 centers, is it's not dying. It's just changing, mutating. It has not recognized it. So there are practices still like Vipassana and like yoga. And let's say in Vipassana, at the end of the course, there is what's called a Dhamma, or I don't know, to send your love. So think about someone you love and all this bullshit that you try to make things happen. That's an old school mind. Yeah. Still, part of our evolution is not taken that away from us, like the ability to control our breath, pranayama, and also all of that, what my mind discerns as bullshit, because we're trying to impact some natural movement. Yeah. Now, again, as I said, evolution has not taken it from us, so let's practice this body movement, this exercise. Let's use the mind to use the body. So the mind is saying, okay, now let's stand in this asana, and I realize, again, as I'm saying, my developing path is addressing the mind as an organ, and actually suggesting in a way to let go. To let go. To let go. Yes, to let go. And only one inside knows what it means. Oh, I see myself actually sitting and doing some stretch, asana, and something. Again, it's only continuing to be aware of what's there, but the conditioning is so deep to do, that we are not seeing anything, actually, because we constantly have a goal. Yeah? And it's not for anybody else to convince you, me, us, all of that there is no goal. Or there is, only oneself can really recognize it. Now, I realize that, again, it started from this inner vision that is... that I really realized how it's so profound. That also I get a chance to well, first of all, my mind's interpretation is still okay. I get more and more in touch with my cognition. But how to explain this inner vision to other people? Like that everyone's inside of me. Again, it's a right-oriented tone. It's a right-oriented tone. And it cannot surface when I'm trying to bring a thought or a movement or an asana or an action, or I'm trying to think of how I will earn money, or I will make friends, or how I will teach human design or share that. Yeah. Again, it's only when one lets go completely. And you never know if you really let go completely. It's just Yeah, a sound. Let go completely, surrender, blah, blah, blah. But it does something. Yeah? Now, there are simpler aspects how I see that and so on and so forth. Like I can sense when people are looking for the words. They're looking for the thought. Yeah? It's like they would now try to impact their breath. So they make like a stretch with their mind instead of accepting that it might have nothing to say or to see, because they have, I don't know, I determine, that they have expectations of like something needs to be said. They need to sit in a certain posture. They need to think of something in particular to tell me. No, not at all. But nobody has liberated people from that. Nobody. There maybe have been people. It's just the movement, the leaves falling from the trees and now being, clustered, collected, accumulated in this pattern. So like, okay, the leaf thoughts, okay, I'm going to fall from the tree. Maybe they have some conductor. We see the leaves now, yeah. And they're just same as the thoughts. It's everything. But again, we have a tendency with human beings for clear shapes. Yeah, look at our buildings, and everything is the floor is everything's leveled. I haven't entered a house actually, maybe one actually, in my memory, that was not constructed. Again, almost evenly. Often in construction there's a 1%, but still it is leveled in 1% inclination that so water can actually flow to a certain place, because we try to impact the flow. Now, it's not a good or bad thing, just kind of mentioning that, because we have been in control for a long time. So we have, let's say, the pavement where I'm walking at, when it is constructed, it is not actually constructed so awkwardly. There are dents because Earth is moving and life is laughing at humans, trying to make things straight. And then every, 10 years, 5 years, 50 years, they have to adapt because, hey, just to imagine someone actually, this pavement that I'm walking on, and that if to begin with people would have made it like that. This is the organic movement. It shows me, if you look at the pattern, if you just look at the pavement that is let's say at least 1, 2, 3 years old, maybe even more, you'd see the natural shape that actually Earth determined for this material, yeah? This is concrete and sand and all of that. But you would see, and it's not the human trying to shape things in clear degrees, yeah? Even if, again, it's a round, you look at a round a tire. I'm just passing by a car, or, it doesn't matter that aspect, because we have learned that it does something and it's of use. This the way we make shapes, yeah, and we are limited by the forms which are you look at anything man has ever made, actually, and again then you look at the flowers and the leaf and your own actual body, and we are living with our own limitation. But that's these thought streams, this thing that came from the inner vision, that it's like everybody's here. That's what the inner vision is saying. You don't have to see anybody. Yeah? You don't have to see anybody. You can imagine everything. But the problem, we're in our evolving process, that follow your dream. Yeah, dream is connected to imagine, to desire. You don't just, as I wrote in yesterday's Kiss, Tomorrow's Embrace Now, which you actually appeared in that dream. There's a vivid image inside my head as I wrote. Yeah, it's very much associated with dreams themselves, but not a manifestation of them as they want to go. Again, describing human design, this channel of manifesting, channel 3635. That funnily enough, I'm having a meeting today with a manifester. With this is his authority, this channel. But even for him, it's part of seeing the substance which dreams are made of, which fantasy is fueling. Yeah. And even that's interesting, because this is about recognition of one fantasy, trying to bring it to fulfillment at the throat, and again, no expectations of that, even if it will be fulfilled. Let alone if one is a generator, and I met generators with this channel, and but this inner vision was so. Wow. And again, it's a process of gaining access to that when the mind is not looking for anything. And I see how your eyes are looking for something. You're not the only one. I've seen so many eyes like that. And and there's nothing to do about it, just to become constantly, okay, whatever you're aware now, whatever you're aware now, whatever you're aware now. Yoga is dying, it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. It's clear to me 100%. Trying to align the body to something in particular that's dying. We are the asana. We are the pranayama. This is all these techniques that trying to do something. Yeah, I've went through this. When people will listen in due time to my trial and error, they'll get the foundations correct for them. So they won't have to tread my path. As the 1-3, this again, it's just outer authority. They have their own mechanisms. Yeah. I went through vipassana and yoga and this yoga and that yoga, and I've seen how much we're trying to control our actions. We're not observing anything actually. We're still full of goals. Yes, we are seeing something. Yeah? Because we have eyes and other senses, so we experience. But the mind, the organ, is still fully in control. Fully in control. Fully in control. It's not an observer at all. I've met so many yoga teachers, experience this, experience that, bullshitting around. That was my experience. Bullshitting around, trying to move the movement. Part of my process is to, okay, let it go. Release it and also let it out in due time. All the things I went through my trial and error. And again, when someone is grounded in their own decision making, the frequency will do what it's doing. Yeah, it's not about the agenda of someone stopping doing this or starting. It's none of that. Hatha Yoga Anushasana, what is happening now? for me it was all of a sudden, okay, stopped with yoga, shift direction. It will also happen to you and you and you and you. Same will happen with human design and all other things. This is just gas that's being released now and whoosh. But it's clear to me, we are not living in the now. Whether we are in the future past that is connected to the now, we are not in this union of body and mind in the now. We are trying to move the movement again and again and again and again. We don't even know what the movement is. We don't even see that. That's why our seer, our perceiver, does not live its life as an observer. It does not live its life as an observer. It does not, and it has been said before, but it was, yeah, okay, all this 196, all this long way now. Now, okay, people have taken over of a simple, even language, and then they said, okay, what I know now is giving you an asana. Let's put your body in this place. No, not just see the organic movement of what is happening. That's why it's gonna die soon. Because the yoga that as it's been taken, it's like the human buildings. The human buildings last, what? Even especially the modern ones. 30 years, whatever. They require so much maintenance. Based on human thought. Same as why Vipassana. You go somewhere and try to do something. You're not seeing what is happening around, what actually you perceive, because there is goal to achieve or strive for something more than this. Walking in this goddamn pavement, not knowing what will be my next step, even if I have a memory of the pattern that happened. Because money, because family, because inspiration, because aspirations, many becauses, because. And this because is, again, I don't know, is calling a challenge on that. Don't know where the hell the path leads. But people around are impacting us through getting us to think about so much crap. And it's in hidden layers, And anyway, there's no control of that. So even no choice of even that I will speak like that. I keep waiting. I have many recordings like this, all in due time, all in the queue.